Shopping for your next. Next car? Shopping for your next.
Alright, sorry for starting late. I spilled a bunch of lemonade all over my desk and my chair, so I had to clean that up. Oops. Let's see, where is the sound coming from? There, okay. Alright, so this is a redo of my stream from the other day, because the other day I don't know what's going on, but like someone was up with the volume on it to where I just couldn't hear anything, and so I need to redo the stream. So today is going to be about the same. Knowing me, I probably will end up rating books differently than I did yesterday because of vibes. How I'm feeling day to day kind of changes how you you feel about certain things, books included. So let's go ahead and get started. Hold on, let me text my husband. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to text my husband that I was starting my stream and not to call me during his lunch break. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Sorry about this. I know I should have done this before, but let's see. There we go. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Now we're starting for real. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is time for the mid-year wrap-up of every book I've read so far this year. I did do a stream, as I mentioned the other day, but the sound was crap. And so I'm redoing it, and I actually have finished another book since doing that stream the other day, so there's going to be a little bit different stuff today than it was the other day. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first off, we're starting off pretty strong. This is Earl Crush by Alexandra Vosti. I love her. I will now read anything she gets. I'll not read anything she writes now. This included. I love her like historical romances. I have the arc for, I think it's called Swipe Bite. I've been reading a little bit here and there. It's like more contemporary paranormal kind of stuff. It's about like a vampire CEO falling in love with someone. I don't love it near as much as I love her Regency novels. So I think her like historical romances are going to be auto-buys for me, but her contemporary stuff I might wait and see a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I still love it. It's still like a 4-star read at the very least so far. However, I'm used to hers being 5s. Does that make sense? Like, I'm used to them being amazing and not just really good. Does that make sense? I shouldn't be complaining about things being really good, but it's the way it is. But I really like this one a lot. Yeah, I got this one's an ARC. I'm going to try and remember to say which one of these were ARCs and which ones weren't. And before the stream started, I actually went ahead and put rereads down here. I do this every single time I do one of these tier lists, and I always forget to add that until like I'm in the middle of the stream. But I feel like you should judge rereads differently than judging like books you read for the first time, because naturally you're only going to reread something you love, obviously. And so I feel like it's going to really skew like your numbers and stuff, because like also like because I enter, or I'm supposed to enter all mine into like Storygraph and Goodreads, and it says at the end of the year how many 5-star reads you've had. Well, if you keep rereading the same books, then that's going to be like, oh, you've read like 6 5-star reads this year, when really you've only read like maybe 2 or 3 new ones, and the rest were just you rereading Dracula over and over or something. So I do like to have them separately, which is the first one going down there is this one is Wuthering Heights. I wanted to reread it before the movie came out. I ended up not going to see the movie. I love the book and everything. There was that one dress I saw of that Catherine was wearing in like the like not a trailer, but like in some of the promo photos. It was like she was wearing a giant vinyl red dress or something. And there was another one where it was like completely see-through plastic looking, and I'm like, what is this? And I've seen a few other things about it, seen some other reviews about the movie, and I'm like, this, I do not think this is for me. I do not think this is going to be a Megan film, as I would say. So I didn't go see it. I probably will eventually. Like, I definitely don't want to go pay to go see it because movie tickets here are kind of expensive because I live in Atlanta. But even the half off ticket days, I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $8 going to go see this kind of thing. So I was gonna wait for it to be on streaming, maybe. Even then, I still haven't watched it because it's done. I think it's done by the same director or someone that did what was that weird, another Jacob Elordi movie, something Burn. What was it? I don't remember what it was. What was that movie? I'm gonna look it up because now it's gonna drive me nuts. I don't remember. What was it? All I can think of is Ratburn, but that's the name of the teacher from Arthur. Oh god. I'm just gonna look up Jacob Elordi because I know it was like one of his movies. I know it was another actor was in it, but I don't know how to spell it. Saltburn. That was it. Saltburn. And I really did not like that movie. That was too weird. Not for me. I didn't even finish it all the way through. I think I got like halfway through, and I was like, this is a no. And same for my husband, so we both just stopped watching it. Luckily we had it on streaming, and so we didn't have to like walk out of the theater or something. But so it's like, didn't pay for it, so. But anyway, all of that to say, that's why I have a rereads section down here, just so I can, I don't know, keeps things kind of fair, I think. Because there are some books that like I reread every single year. Like I reread Dracula every single year because I do the Dracula Daily thing where they send the entry of from Dracula for that day in your email or something. And so I read Dracula every year because of that. And so like, that'd be weird to have Dracula in up here every single year. And on top of that, like I said, I like to try and put all my books in the Storygraph and Goodreads, and reading Dracula throughout the entire year was really messing with my stats because in Storygraph it tells you how long you like on average take to read a book, and having one book take me an entire year was really messing with my stats, and it was really annoying, so I just don't put it in there anymore. I say that like I put all the rest of my books in there. I'm very, very, very far behind on my Goodreads, and then only just very behind on my Storygraph. Because I've only put, I think I only have like half of the books from this year on my Storygraph, and I don't have hardly any of the ratings in there. And then Goodreads, I still don't have all of my books from last year in there still. because I just don't go on there. The problem is I have to re-log into Goodreads every single time when I'm on my, I think it's Firefox. For some reason, it will not let me just automatically be signed in on there. And so I just made it where I just stopped going on there, you know? And then I don't like the app or the webpage version of it. I don't like it. And so I don't go on my phone. And so I just stopped doing it. Yeah. I'm very bad about, like, if it's not easy, then I'm probably not going to do it very regularly. I'm very bad about that for this kind of stuff anyway. And the next is Vow to the Vulture, sorry. Next is Vow to the Vulture God by Ruby Dixon. I can't remember where I put this yesterday, or I can't remember where I put this the other day. Because, like, yes, it's Ruby Dixon, who is, like, my go-to author for, like, you know, a palate cleanser, just a fun read. But this is one book where she kind of surprised me, where it was a little deeper than I'm used to for her. And so it was good. It just wasn't what I was expecting, but it was still really good. It was just a little deeper than I was expecting. Like, if I had gone into it, like, knowing it was going to be like that, I would have loved it a lot more. But I wasn't in the mood for that sort of thing because I didn't pick up Ruby Dixon for that. I'm trying to think. I'm not good about remembering what ratings are for which ones. Like, all 5-star reads are going to go up here, obviously. And then I guess 4s go here, 3s go here, 2s go here. Oh, I feel like 2s kind of fit both here because, like, I'm not going to, I would imagine then by that logic, DNFs should go here, but I'm not going to have DNFs on this list because I didn't read them, obviously. I don't know. In that case, I feel like that should go here. Most of my books are going to be like around here because I had a pretty good reading year so far. So next, to clarify, this is also an ARC. This is also an ARC. I really like this one a lot. It was really cute. It was different because it's about 2 archaeologists, so it had a little bit of, like, Indiana Jones vibes to it. I really like this one a lot. It was Enemies to Lovers, which I usually don't love, but it wasn't bad. Like, I didn't have the same problems with this one as I normally do with Enemies to Lovers, where they're fighting over something stupid and it doesn't actually matter. It's just kind of, no one would actually be upset about that sort of thing, and they're just doing that so they can say it's Enemies to Lovers or something for, like, you know, the TikTok hashtags and everything. Or on the flip side of that, where it's something so horrendous that there's just no way they would actually forgive each other and, you know, get together at the end. It wasn't that. It was a fairly reasonable reason, so I liked that at least. So I like Enemies to Lovers when it's done right, in my opinion. And the next we have We Who Will Die. I loved this one. Obsessed with this one. It's vampires. I'm gonna love it. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. There were a few story plot holes that really annoyed me that I can't go into without having spoilers. And I talk about it because I did some kind of video with this one where I actually went into the problems I had with it and the spoilers and everything. But since this is live, I don't want to do that to people because they can't skip it. But I'm still going to read the next book because maybe it might resolve the story plot holes that I had a problem with. But also still 5-star read. Absolutely loved it. Gobbled this one up. Loved it. And the next is Heated Rivalry. Once again, 5-star read. Loved it. Now, this one had the added benefit of I read this around the same time when the show got really big. And so basically going on Book Talk, going on BookTube, Bookstagram, everyone was reading this. Everyone was talking about it. It was like one giant book club. And that made the reading experience so much better. And it made me realize that maybe I do want to join a book club. Because of just, it made me love this so much more. Having that community aspect with it. And I've been looking around for another book club or something around my area that I can join, but there's really not any, you know, like they're all women who are a good bit older than I am, like old enough to be my grandparent, reading books that I'm really not interested in, you know, or it's book clubs meant for like high school students or something. There's really no in between. And I thought about starting my own, but I don't really have one, the time for that, or B, the car, because I don't have a car. Well, I do, but it doesn't always work. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but I don't like driving it really far away, and so I'd be kind of limited to having everyone meet in my area, and my area is not exactly great for people who like live in Atlanta or something like that, because I live kind of not far out from Atlanta, because I only live like a few miles away, but with Atlanta traffic, it's pretty far. Um, a friend of mine lives in like Brookhaven, which is still outside of Atlanta, but on my side of Atlanta, and she sometimes takes regularly an hour to get to me because of traffic. And so, even though it's only like a couple miles away. Anyway, this made me, I love this book. I read the second one. The second one's in here somewhere. Yeah, here's the other one. No, I think this is actually the second one. This is the first one. Either way, I didn't like this one near as much. It was okay. I still read this around the same time as this one, so it still had that bit of that community aspect, but not near as much because these were not the main characters. These are like the side characters in the show. Now this one I had the audiobook of. This is also one of the very, 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 very few examples of the audiobook not being as good as the actual book. Usually for me, if I have the audiobook, I'm going to love it so much more. But the voice actor for Kip in this one, I don't know what he was doing with that voice, but that was weird. I'm not sure what was going on there. Like, I've never been to Canada or anything, because all the characters in this are Canadian. Or most of them, obviously not Ilya Romanov, but most of them are Canadian. As he did this Canadian accent, and I don't think that's what Canadians sound like, but it was very jarring because he's also the only one in the book that sounded like that. And it was really weird. It sounded like a guy trying to do a Canadian Sylvester Stallone impression. That's what it sounded like to me. Like, imagine that in your mind. And that's what it sounded like. It was very jarring and off-putting. And not to mention, I found Kip as a character kind of sometimes difficult to root for. In some aspects. And so I didn't like this one near as much. I see why they decided to make these two the stars and the main focus for the show. Because I definitely think these two characters, it was Shane and Ilya, I definitely think they were more interesting, more engaging, more, not identifiable, but more easy to relate with, I guess. I don't know. Next is another arc. See, I'm getting better at remembering to say that. I love this one. I can't remember what I rated this one, but I loved this one. This is about two rival storm chasers, and they are chasing storms together, and it's pretty great. I loved it. The only thing that really bothered me was, once again, it's enemies to lovers, air quote, but they're not really. For one, it's very one-sided. It's just her not liking him, and she seems to have absolutely no reason for it. And I understand that sometimes you just have no reason for disliking someone, you just do. But even when you're inside her head, it seems made up or something, if that makes any sense. I don't know, it's hard to describe. I don't know. And so, that bothered me. But I loved everything else. Like, I really think them being storm chasers really added a whole other thing to the story other than just the romance. Because a lot of times when there's like a temporary romance or something, especially small town romances, I've noticed this is a really big problem, where there's really nothing else going on other than there's the romance, and it gets kind of boring. Like, for novellas and stuff like that, or shorter books, it's fine. But for books that are like 350 pages, which is like the average length of a romance novel these days, it seems, It gets a little boring and repetitive, I think, and so I really need something else other than just the romance going on, or I'm gonna get bored. And they're doing like a photography contest during storm season. There's storm chasing and all that stuff. So there's like a little bit something else going on, and so I like that one a lot. And then this one, I don't remember what I rated this one. I feel like I should remember because I read this actually fairly recently. I like this one pretty good. I won't put this here, but I definitely liked it more than this one, so I'm gonna put it like that. I think this order works. Actually, I'm gonna try and keep them in order of how much I like them in each like category. I think that's gonna help me. Yeah. I like this one. I normally don't like it when the main female character is a baker or a chef or something. I don't really know why I don't like it. I used to think that the problem was because of I personally hate cooking and hate baking. It's my least favorite thing in the world. I find it so boring, so tedious, and just I hate doing it so much. And so I thought maybe that was the reason. But after thinking about it, there's other jobs that characters have that I dislike that thing just as much, and I have no problem with it. Like the main example is sports romances. I really don't like sports. I think they're all boring. I'd rather gouge my eyes out than go to a baseball game. Like it's just so boring to me. I just really don't like it. And but I like sports romances enough. Like, this one's here is 5 stars for me, and then this was mostly a character problem. Them playing hockey was never the issue for this one. And then I think there's another one. Yeah, there's a baseball one down here, which I like even less than hockey. And this one, as you will see later on, gets rated pretty high. So it's definitely not that. That's not the issue for the Baker romances. I think maybe the problem might be that there's a certain personality that people write for women when they're also like baking or something, and maybe that's what I'm negatively responding to that I don't like. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what it is, quite frankly. But I really don't like it. But here it wasn't as bad, and I like the rest of the story enough to where it kind of made up for that kind of thing. It's definitely something I should probably start avoiding, stories where the main female character is a baker, since I typically don't like it. But I saw like the book description for this one. I was like, okay, that sounds really good. I'll try it, and I'm glad I did. I can't remember if I mentioned it. This is an ARC as well. Also, I got this as an audiobook ARC, I think. Yeah, I got an audiobook ARC, and I had the ebook ARC as well. And I almost always, with the exception of this one here, like the audiobook more than the actual physical book. Like if I had all the money in the world and all the space on my phone in the world, I would probably get all my books in audiobooks. But I can't. So, because, well, that would be stupid expensive, because audiobooks are like $30. But, and like you can't get sales on them as near as much as you can normal books. But also, like, I love the book trophy, I love having them on my shelves and just looking at them. Like, I just admire my bookshelf sometimes. And, I'll never not have physical books, because also, like, it's really annoying to me that, like, you don't own anything anymore these days, it seems like. Because, like, the Kindle books, you don't own them, but they're still pretty expensive. Like, there was one book I was wanting to get on Kindle, and it was like $12. I'm like, how do you justify that when I don't actually get to own the book? Like, what? I don't know. That really bugs me. So I try to have as many physical copies of media as I possibly can. Like, I'm starting again to start getting DVDs. I need to find a way to play them, because I actually don't own a DVD player. Not one that works. We used to use our Xbox for that, but the Xbox recently crapped out, so we don't really have a way to watch them anymore. Because they don't have disc readers and computers anymore either. So I'm gonna probably just get a DVD player, like real cheap at like Goodwill or something. But I'm trying to have like physical copies of stuff, especially ones I really like, There's quite a few books in here that I got like the ARC for that I plan on buying the physical book for, because because of the whole, you know, you don't own anything kind of thing, but also what I am really bad at like organizing my Kindle books, and especially for ARCs, the way they're done in your Kindle, it's kind of hard to find something, I feel like. And so the best example for that would be this one here, Doomsday, which 5-star read, loved it. I will definitely be rereading this for Halloween because it's about zombies and stuff. Um, this is a great example of that because of like it's an ARC, and so it's gonna be hard for me to find it in my Kindle back like all the way in October when I want to reread it. And my Kindle's really, really old, and so whenever I like swipe up to scroll, I have to like wait because it has a really bad lag. And so scrolling all the way through all my books to get to the bottom to get to where this one would be in October, that would be that'd be real annoying because I'm still like looking through them. It's just awful. The whole organization system for Kindle's not great. If you have any advice for how to organize your Kindle library and stuff, please leave all your tips down below in the comments because I need them. Especially with all the ARCs, because ARCs, like, it's really weird. They don't show up everywhere in the Kindle sphere of stuff. Like, I want to say it's in the like content manager or something on the actual Amazon. It doesn't work. They don't show up there. I have another Kindle that my mother-in-law gave me, but it's a little older, and so it's not supported by Amazon anymore. And so you can't get new books on it, but you can get books that like you bought through Amazon through it. And so all the ones I've bought through Amazon, I have on there, and I can read on there, but not the ones that I gotten from ARCs, and not the ones like that I've just manually downloaded on there. Because I also downloaded a lot of my fan fiction and put it on my Kindle, and so those you can't get on there. That's not a huge problem, I guess, because like it's one of the Kindle Fires, and so it's like in color. So I really like being able to highlight and like color code all my highlights. I love that. But I can only do it on books that I've bought, and it makes me realize I haven't bought a whole lot of them. Like most of my Kindle books are from NetGalley. But this is a really good example. It's about this girl who's a doomsday prepper, and she goes on a blind date with some guy who's like an English professor or something. And during their first date, zombie apocalypse starts, and it's pretty funny because of like it really, he's the damsel in distress this time, and she's the one that's the capable one who knows what she's doing and can handle herself and everything like that. So it's a very nice like flip that trope on its head kind of thing, but also like it's really current in that what starts the zombie apocalypse. What starts the zombie apocalypse in this book is there's some kind of, it's spread through some kind of fast food or something, and everyone has severe diarrhea, and before they turn into a zombie or something, and or like they're really sick, and I'm like, that's really perfect for what's going on right now with the I can't pronounce it, that parasite that's in the lettuce right now. I think it's died down some now, but I can't remember if this is already out yet or not. It might already be out yet by now. I don't know. I can't remember. But I really like this one a lot. And another 5-star read, The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. I loved this so much. I knew I was going to like it. I didn't think I was going to love it because it does deal with grief a good deal. Like that's like one of the main themes in the book. And because the main female character is mourning her best friend who recently passed away from cancer. And that's not a spoiler. It like happens like really quickly in the book. And I think it's like even mentioned in like the blurb in the back. But it's just so beautiful. It's so interesting. There's multiple things, there's different kinds of things going on, and so you're never bored for one, but it's never so action packed that you feel like you can't keep up. and there's some mystery in there, and there's love in there. It's great. I love it. It is by far my favorite Ashley Poston book so far. Love it. I'm so glad I got a physical copy of this one, because I did a video on books that made me break my book buying ban, and this one, like, I broke the ban the most for, because it was a brand new book, and I didn't buy it from like an indie bookshop or buy secondhand, because like none of them had it, and so I had to buy it from Barnes and Noble full price. And I'm glad I did. I mean, I guess I could have gotten it from a Kindle, which would have been a little cheaper, but not by enough, really, because I think on Kindle it was still like 13, 14 bucks. So like for a few dollars more, I can actually own it. And like I have all the other Ashley Poston books, and so I was like, I just want to have it. And so I'm pretty happy I got it. So next is another arc. This one is, I think it's Level Up for Love. It's either it's Level Up for Love, because I think the first one was Roll for Romance. And then I really like this one. I can't remember where I put this one. I really like this one a lot. I think it goes here. I think it goes here at the end of A. I read the first book like a really long time ago, because it was like the first book for the series was like one of the first arcs I ever got. And so I got it a really long time ago. And I don't really remember it very well, and I kind of wish I had like reread it a little bit, like maybe skimmed it before reading this one, because there was obviously a lot of characters in there where the way they were treated and written made it really obvious that they were characters from the first book returning, and I didn't remember them at all. But even with that aside, it didn't take away from the book too much. I still really enjoyed it. It still makes me want to go play D&D somewhere, because it's like a not dual point of view necessarily. It's more dual storyline, where it's the characters falling in love in real life and also them playing D&D. And it really made me want to go play D&D some more, but the eternal problem of never being able to get my friends together to do it, because I've been in like several campaigns, and I think all of them just fizzled out and didn't really end. I know one of them ended, but that's because it was like a short one. Like it was only supposed to be like 4 sessions or something. Because at that point, my friends and I, we'd all figured out that we were not going to be able to do longer than that. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. And then speaking of D&D, next one is Dungeon Crawler Carl. I am officially part of the Donut Fan Club. I love this so much. It was so much fun. Different. I'm actually going to put it higher. I'm actually going to put it all the way up here. I loved it so much. It was so different from anything I've read, because I usually, as you can tell from everything here, I typically read romance books. And so I'm surprised I loved this one as much as I did, especially considering like what I know about like the general fan base of it. It seemed to mostly be men of a certain age, and or at least that I've noticed anyway. Because if I go anywhere near the Dungeon Crawler Carl merch section of the bookstore, at least 2 will just pop out of the woodworks and saying, "Oh, you like Dungeon Crawler Carl too? I didn't know women read this." Like that's happened to me every single time I got to the bookstore and gone like in the merch section to look around for like stickers or something for my Kindle for it. And because I only read them, I'm probably only gonna read the series on my Kindle, because of I think they only come out. I can only find the hardbacks of them, and I don't love hardbacks, and so I'm probably gonna get them all on my Kindle instead. And I'm trying to get as many of them as like on audiobook as well, just because of I think it works really well as an audiobook. And but I really like this one a lot. It was really fun. I say, speaking of D&Ds, because it's called Lit RPG. I don't really know what that means, really. I went to a panel where they were talking about lit RPGs and stuff, and they were talking about how it's basically written like it's a video game. So it's a lit version of an RPG video game. But I don't understand that, because like the same can be said for most books. So I don't really I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really get it. But if you can explain that to me better, please do so in the comments down below, because I like this so much. I would like to get more into books like this. But yeah. But that's the reason why, even though I love this so much and I read this several months ago, I still don't have like the second book on here, is because of the wait list for it in my library is stupid long. I should have just went ahead and requested all of them at the same time, but I didn't think I was gonna love this one. I think I was gonna like it. I didn't think I was gonna love it, so I didn't request all of them at the same time. So I only requested the second book after I was done with this one, or I was like halfway done with this one, and I knew I was gonna read the next one. But the wait list for the second book is like, oh gosh, it's like 40 something weeks, I think. Yeah, it's like nearly a year because of everyone's reading this right now, especially now that it's being made into, I think, a TV show. It's either gonna be an Amazon TV show or it was a movie. I can't remember, but it's being made into something. And next is Percy Jackson. Now, I originally rated this one as a 5-star read, but after thinking about it some, I think it's more of like 4.5. I think I was more thinking it in the terms of, if I had read this as a kid, I would have been obsessed with this, like to levels that I was obsessed with Twilight. But I didn't read that when I was a kid. I read that a few months ago, you know? So I need to think about it in context of how I feel about it now, not, man, I really wish I had read this when I was a kid. But out of the books that I've read, because I've read 3 of them so far, this one and then the third one are my favorites so far. I really like this one a lot. I'm going to put this a little bit higher because I did really enjoy it, though. I love anything with mythology in it, so it's kind of hard not to love it. But I'm doing like a video series where I'm annotating and highlighting and all that good stuff, and then reading, doing reactions, all that good stuff with the whole series. And so be checking that out. I've recently posted the third one, which is this one. Recently did that one. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do all of them. I didn't like this one near as much as the first one. It was okay. I liked it. Don't be wrong. I love Tyson. And then, I like that one. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot more than that one. And then, I like Thalia. So, I like her in this one. And then, next is the Heartbreak Hotel. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put that here. I didn't really like this one very much. I am impressed I got through all of it, actually, thinking back on it. My main issue with this one is, so the premise is about this woman who goes through a really bad breakup, and so she decides to open up her house as a heartbreak hotel, hence the name of the book, where it's a hotel for people who are going through heartbreak, and she's also like a counselor, or she's like in school to be a counselor, so she's not like a fully fledged one yet. And so she's going to help them through their problems and everything like that. But like the advice and help she gives the people who stay there is the most surface level help and advice I've ever heard of in my life. Like, honestly, I think you could have gotten just as good advice from a stranger on like the train as her. And she's supposed to be like a professional? Because like she's almost done with the school. She's all but a therapist, essentially. And so it's just, I don't know. I felt that was really annoying, mostly. And then, you know, I can't remember if there was a third act breakup, but I think there was. Because I read this a while back. And I hate that. But, like, I think there, yeah, I'm like 99% sure there was a third act breakup. But I don't remember any details about it. But anyway, next one is Game On. I like this one a lot. I'm gonna put this. Ooh, I might even put it up here. This is one of those books where like, yeah, I like it more the more I think about it than when I wasn't actually like reading it, if that makes any sense. I definitely liked it a lot more than Caught Up, but not near as much as Lights Out. So I think it being an A tier makes, actually I'm gonna put it here because I like this one I think more. Actually, I think I'm gonna reorganize these a little bit. I don't think all these are about even, actually. These 3 I think are, all 4 of these are pretty even. But so I think what colored my like view of Game On while I was reading it was comparing it to the other books. because I loved Lights Out like most people, and then Caught Up I really didn't like a whole lot. Like, it was okay. And then Game On I liked definitely a lot more than Caught Up, but not as much as Lights Out. One of the things I think Game On really had going for it was that the main male character is one that was in all of the books. I think he was in the second book. I think he's like mentioned or something in the second book. But he's the main male character from the first book's best friend and roommate. So he's introduced in the very first book. I think he's like introduced like in the first chapter even. And so you get a little more invested, I guess, in him. And so having that feeling like you know him a little bit, or at least his alter ego in a sense, it's kind of hard to explain without spoiling too much. But since you feel like you know him a little bit better, you're a little more invested in his story and everything like that. But I did like that one a lot. And next is a book I just recently finished reading. 5 stars. Loved it. Alexandra Fausti, just another one of her historical romances, just hits it out of the park. I'm reading this one for a reading vlog that I'm actually recording at the moment, because this is a library book that I got, and I got 3 library books, and I somehow forgot about them until they're due like in a couple days. So I'm having to read like 3 books in about 3 days. I finished this one like yesterday or the other day when I did the stream, and then I just finished This Is Another One, which is another one I really liked a lot. Yeah. No, it was not this one. No, I'm almost done with this one. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Let me start over. It's like reading 3 books in 3 days will fry your brain, man. But yeah, so I finished that one the other day, and then after that, I just finished this one, which I liked. I'm actually gonna put that down here. Yeah, this feels right. Yeah, this is actually my first book I've read from Megan Quinn, and I really liked it a lot. Really enjoyed it. There were definitely some aspects of it that were a little different than what I was expecting, and from what I'm used to in romance novels, which I really like when they keep things fresh and different, without it being out of place. Because sometimes it's out of place when they do something different. Like, it's sometimes like, dude, they don't do that in romance novels for a reason, and this was a little different in a good way. So I think I'm gonna be reading more books from her. I really like that one. Yeah. And then I'm almost done with this one. I have like only a few chapters left, so like honorable mention. I feel like I really like this one a lot. Unless something like just goes horribly wrong in the last few chapters, I think it's safe to say this one's gonna be pretty high up there. Now, this one is a Hermione fan fiction turned into a book kind of thing. I'm not really sure exactly how close it is to the fan fiction because I've not read it, but I know it's like based off of it or something. But you can still get the original fan fiction because it's not rewritten directly from the fan fiction. So the fan fiction's still up. So I'm not really sure how connected it is, but you can definitely get the vibe of the Hermione because of, the basic story of it is very obviously Hermione. Well, for one thing, there's magic, so obvious for one. But, he is an ultra elite with platinum blonde hair who's really rich, and she is someone who is struggling with money and is trying to work for the better good. And they're enemies to lovers, and those are like the basic blocks of Hermione fanfiction. And so it's very obvious in that respect. It's not quite like what was that one? Rose and Chains. That one was another Hermione fanfiction that was made into a book, and that one was very obvious. Like, I never even read Harry Potter, and I could pinpoint, okay, this is Harry, this is Ron, this is obviously Hermione and Draco are pretty obvious, but other little things like that, I couldn't do like obviously a lot more beyond that because of, like I said, I've not read the books. I'm sure anyone who's read the books could, like, it would be even more obvious to me, or not to me. I'd be even more obvious to them if they had actually read the Harry Potter books. But yeah, this one was not quite as obvious to me. I think obviously also like there was no one that I thought was really sorry. There was no one that I thought was really obvious other characters, so I think maybe it's a Hermione in that it was some kind of like AU or something where it basically just used Hermione and Draco. Because I've read a few Hermione fanfictions where they're the only characters from Harry Potter that are in the story, really. Everyone else are like new characters or people that were just briefly mentioned in the books and they just get more fleshed out in the fanfiction or something. Things like that. Because some people get really creative with their fanfictions. So I think it might have been the case for this one, but I really enjoyed this one a lot so far. I keep saying that like I've finished it. I've not finished it yet. I'm like really, really close. I think I'm like 80%, 75% of the way done, something like that. Yeah. And then next is Shatter Me, which is another book I read for a video. I'm gonna put this up here. I actually like this one a lot. So this one, I did a poll on my YouTube channel of okay, vote for your book boyfriend that you want me to meet for the first time, and I'll read it and do a video. So I'm doing a video series where I'm reading book boyfriends, like really popular ones for the first time, and just talking about them. Like they are the main focus on the video. It's not like necessarily like a reactions reading vlog review of the book. It's more of reactions reading vlog of Aaron Warner. So if you're interested in that, go check out that video. And then I think the next one is probably going to be Kai Azar from Powerless because he came second in the poll. But I'm going to do another poll just to, so people can vote again and have like another option up there. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. So that way you will know when that video comes out. And so you'll see the polls. You can vote in it because I like to know what you think. And then next is When in Rome. I love this. I don't think I gave this 5 stars. I'm going to put this... I like this one a lot, so I'm going to put this here. So this series is like the When in Rome series. And I read this series completely out of order, as I do. And I read the second book first, and then I think I read the third one next, and then the fourth one, and then this one, which is the first one. I got ARCs for 1, if not 2 of them. Yeah. No, I got ARCs for 2 of them, yeah. This one I obviously did not get an ARC of because this book's been out for a long time. I really like it. I think it's really cute and sweet. I usually don't like the celebrity normal person like relationship dynamic, but I actually really like it here. Sarah Adams, I think is the name of the author, really managed to humanize it, because normally when there's a celebrity and a normal person, it comes off as like not like cartoony, but like that's the best way I can think of to describe it. It's just very doesn't feel real at all. It just feels very cartoony, like not real. I don't explain it, but she like really makes it work, and I really liked it a lot. And it made me try a few other celebrity, like normal person romances after this, and DNF'd most of them because of like they just could not get it as good as her. And this is also a rare example of one of the main characters is a baker, and I don't hate it, but I think it's the main male character is the one that's the baker, and I guess maybe that's proof that the issue is usually the personality type that they give female characters that are bakers in books. Maybe that's what I don't like about it. I don't know. But I really like this one a lot. It was so cute. I liked it so much. And then, let's see. Next is Strange Familiars, which is another arc I got. I like this one a lot. I think I'm going to put it up here. This one is another... I'm just going to assume a Hermione fanfiction to normal book. I don't know, but it screams Hermione. It has all the major tenets of it. It's magical setting. It has a blonde main male character who's a little morally gray, a little evilish, who is privileged, really, really rich, and in the elites of the magical world that the main female character is trying to get into and is having problems, financial and, just breaking into the elite or into that area kind of thing. And they're enemies to lovers, they're rivals, and on top of that, she is better at it than he is. I forgot to mention that earlier when we were talking about this one here. She is better at it than he is, which I feel like is another tenet of Hermione fan fiction to a normal novel kind of thing. Like, he's still really good at it, but like, she's exceptional at it. And the only reason why she's not doing better is because she doesn't have the same connections and money that he has. And they're like a little enemies to lovers. I think it's really more technically rivals to lovers, because like, she doesn't dislike him for any unreasonable reason, which I appreciate. Her main reason for him is, to her, he represents, the elite that's holding her back. And he is not quite as good at this as she is, and yet he's getting the accolades, he's getting the grants and the awards that she deserves because he's more connected. And now you're gonna dislike someone who's in that kind of situation when you're desperately trying to make ends meet, because it's really bad for her. And I just really like that one a lot. I want to see if I can figure out and see if that's based off of fan fiction, because it really does feel like it. And so I'd love to like try and actually track down the original fan fiction and read that and see what was, the bones of it, essentially. And the next is the novella. I loved this one. It was so good. Probably put this a little higher. No, that's probably fine. So this one, so it's about this woman who finds a time capsule from her grandmother. And in there, she finds out that her grandmother had a secret lover, a woman, and she wants to track down the grandchild of that woman and give them like some of the keepsakes that I think were in it or something like that. And lo and behold, she meets the grandchild of her grandmother's lover, and they fall in love themselves. Because like, the grandmothers buried the time capsule together when they had to like essentially break up and go do their normal things. They both had to have, because this was like set in like the 40s or something, where things like same-sex marriage wasn't legal, wasn't really accepted, so they really couldn't be together. So they went off and married men separately, and then like I think they like never spoke again or something like that. And so because the main female character and the main male character didn't know about each other at all, so I don't think they knew about each. I don't think they spoke again. And so he's in England, she's in the United States, she's like a school teacher or something. And so you're like, a few of the chapters are done through their emails, which is hit or miss. I like it. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I think it worked here. And another thing I really liked about this was, despite it being a novella, so it was pretty short, it didn't feel rushed at all. Like, that really felt like a full story without it actually being the same length as most romance novels these days. I really feel like a lot of romance novels, especially like contemporary ones, don't need to be as long as they are. I don't know why they're so long sometimes. But anyway, I think that might be a me thing. But I really liked this a lot. Like, it was just like the right length. I mean, I say that I would have loved it being longer, but I realize, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, I get more of the book that I really like, but also then it might go into the issues of normal length novels where it's getting a little dragged out. It's just not as good or something. I don't know. But I really like this one a lot. I thought it was really cute. And then here is a complicated one. I did not like this one while I read it. There were a lot of problems with how the main female character is written and how they speak to each other, and it was really off-putting. I almost DNF'd it. However, I have read since then a lot of reviews on this book, and a lot of them like made me rethink how I view some of the things that happen in the story. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that explains this. Okay, that is that's not as bad. So I'm thinking about actually trying to reread this one and with those things in mind and see if I like this more. I think that's what I'm going to do. The reviews have convinced me. And now back to you. Loved this one. I'm gonna put this a little higher. So I like this one a lot, so I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, I think that's good. I love this one. I read this one in a like reading vlog I did where I read Storm Chaser romances while it was storming really bad. Cause there was like a week here in Atlanta where it was storming really bad, and so I read this and then this during that time. And so if you want to check the video out, go check it out. But I love this one so much. I really liked the first book, and so when I was about to read this one, because the first one was Heartstrings, and when I got this one, I was like, okay, I was thinking I wasn't gonna like it as much, but I ended up liking this even more than the first book. I love this one. And then Jackson, the main male character from this one, is like one of my top book boyfriends now. I loved him. I'm so sad they're gonna get more books of him. And then next is Catch Her If You Can. I don't remember what I rated this at the time. I really like this series a lot. So I'm going to put that here. Yeah, top of B. I think that makes sense. Either top of B or maybe like, yeah, actually take it back. It's going to be an A. I really like this whole series. This is another example of what I was talking about earlier, about how I don't like it when the main female character is a baker, and I thought that was just because of I hate baking myself. But this is a good example of that's obviously not the case, because this is about baseball, and I think baseball is one of the most boring things ever. I was forced to watch a baseball game in college because I was in a sorority, and so we had to like go do school activity stuff, and so we as a sorority had to all go watch the baseball players and watch them play baseball or something when they had a home game. And let me tell you, that was some of the most bored I've ever been. Did not enjoy that. Did not go again. The only time I ever went to any baseball games in college was because of my sorority, like, required it. And then there were a few other times where it was required, and I, like, managed to get out of it. I did not like doing it. But I really like this book, though. I think I got this as an ARC. I can't remember. No, I did not. No, did I? I can't remember. I can't remember. This has been a few months now. Because I know I've gotten one other book from the series in ARC. I can't remember if I got this one too. Anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, I should probably say which ones I got as ARCs. This is an ARC. And then, did I forget? Oh, this one was an ARC. This one was an ARC. Yeah. I was so proud of myself in the beginning of the stream remembering which ones were ARCs, which ones weren't, and I'm back to being bad at it. Oh well. And then next is Taurus Season. I really like this one a lot. I think I'm going to put it up here. No, I think I'm going to put it here. I like this one a lot. I really liked her Ruinous Love series, which is like the Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark and Sparrow and Scythe. And those books. The first book in that series, Butcher and Blackbird, is the one that like hers that went viral on Book Talk a few years ago. I actually like this, I think, more. It's kind of hard because like it's been a while since I've read the first books, obviously, but I feel like I really like this one a lot. I really feel like I like this one more. There are some things I like more about this series than the other one. There's some things I like more about the other series that I like than the ones I like about in this series. So it's kind of hard. It's like apples and oranges kind of thing. So it's kind of hard to figure out which one is better, in my opinion. But I really did enjoy this one. I'm really excited for the second one. I own the second one. I still have not gotten around to reading it. It's in hardback, and it's just I really don't like reading hardback books because it's just so hard for me to get comfortable while reading it. So like it kind of takes me in and out of the story a lot. But it's the only way to buy the book because of it's only in hardback right now. I do plan on getting the third one because they've announced the cover for it, and it's really pretty. I love her covers. I think I'm actually going to get the special edition of the third one. I don't have the special editions of the other two because of lately most of the books where they have special editions, obviously they're almost always in hardback, and I don't like hardback very much. I really like how this series has special editions, multiple special editions for all the paperbacks. I really appreciate that. But this one, the special editions are only in hardback, and the books period are only in hardback still, even the first one. Or at least I can't find the paperback of the first one anyway. But usually the paper, like lately, a lot of special editions that I've really liked personally have been the Target editions. And my husband and I are doing a very strict Target ban. Like we're boycotting it because of the DEI stuff. And so we just aren't shopping there anymore. And this basically is pretty much just affected mostly like, all the cool bookish stuff that they have there. And I'm like, I want that, but not enough to make me shop there again. Everything else I used to buy at Target, I've found other places to get those things. The Target exclusive book editions, the only things that really can only get at Target, obviously. And but luckily I found I seen the pictures of the special editions for the third book in this series, and the one I actually really like is either Barnes and Noble or the Books a Million one. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those two. And so I'm like, okay, finally, yes, it's a special edition that I really want that I can get finally. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't remember when it's coming out, but it's probably not for a while. I think it might be coming out like next year, I think. Yeah, because they only just did the cover reveal. And the next is Just Friends by Haley Pham. Oh, lordy. I think this might be D tier. Yeah, since I'm not doing a tier for DNFs, I think I'm gonna do D tiers, like the ones where it's like I wish I DNF'd this one. I got this as an ARC, and that is the only reason I finished it. I did not like it, and I was so disappointed because I really like Haley Pham. Like I've been watching her YouTube channel for ages now, and she and I have a lot of the same taste in books, which is another reason why I obviously watch her videos and stuff. And so I assumed that I was going to really like her book because I'm like, obviously she's going to take inspiration from authors that she likes, and I like those authors too, so I think it will work. Um, mm-mm, mm-mm. She tried. Uh, so here's the issue. I don't think she's a bad writer. I don't. I think the issue is because of she's in the public eye, and that is obviously the reason she got the book deal in the first place. I think her first book is the one we all see. I think most authors who don't have that public following first, we don't see their first book, you know, because like you always hear about authors like, oh, I've been writing for a while, but this is the first one I got published or something like that. That seems pretty normal because I've gone to a lot of panels at DragonCon and stuff like that for authors. Even though I'm not an author, I still like those panels. Anyway, and so I think the problem is we're just seeing her doing it for the first time. Writing, like any skill, gets better over time. It is a skill that you learn, and I think she can get better. I think the main, like one of the issues here is girl needs to put down the thesaurus. The sentence from the book that I've seen used as an example that a lot of people have for her weird way of writing in this book is, I think it was like a conglomerate of birds, and that's what she meant by for a flock of birds or something like that. That's just a good example, I think, of how she writes. It really does come off as she wanted to sound like she had a really good vocabulary, so she replaced every other word with something she found in the thesaurus, which was really annoying. But that aside, it's even then the story is okay. It's fine. mm, mm. She's very long-winded and uses like a million metaphors to get one little point across. So I think if she edited it down, the book is probably not even a novella, honestly. What was there? I can't remember the example. There's one example that I can think of where she like uses like 3 or 4 really, I would say, English major level, like, think of your stereotypical like annoying English major, level of like metaphors and stuff for, I think, like her stomach ache or something. And we're like, okay, we get it. You have a stomach ache. You don't need to like compare it to like a sunrise or sunset or something like a million times, or whatever she was comparing it to. Like, it was like 3 pages about just to say she had a stomach ache. It was, or something like that. I can't remember exactly the example, but it was something like that. And it was, oh gosh, that was a tough read. Like I said, if I had not gotten this arc and needed to review it, I don't think I would have finished it. And it was just so disappointing because, like I said, like I'm a big fan of her YouTube channel, and she and I like a lot of the same authors and stuff like that. And even the writing style, it felt like she was trying to emulate those authors because she knows that's what her audience wants. Because of, like, with, like, another difference from how a normal author goes about their career is they find their own audience through that and their own work, like their voice, by doing it or whatever. And she is having to cater to an audience that's already there. And so I feel like that also influenced her writing style a good bit. And so it feels a little forced sometimes because of that may not be the way she writes necessarily, but it's the way she had to write because of she is catering to an audience that's already there that expects a certain style or something, if that makes any sense. And like I said before, this is not saying she's a bad writer necessarily. She's just not practiced enough. That's all. I'm not saying she's a bad writer. I think that if she writes a few more books, they will get better and they will be quite good. Like, I think she wrote some more books. I don't think I would pick up her next book, but I think third or fourth book, okay. Then I think that she would have gotten it down enough to where she feels more comfortable in writing in her own style. She'll put down the thesaurus, because I think enough people made fun of her about the conglomerate of birds that I think she has learned her lesson. But other than that, also on top of that, it is, I recognize, as I mentioned before, not a genre of romance that, not necessarily that I love, but also one that I feel like is harder for people to do, because it's a small town contemporary romance. It is very hard to make the romance alone be interesting and engaging enough to last 350 pages. I think maybe if she started off with something where there was 2 things going on, so that way she only had to, like, when one thing was slacking, the other thing could pick it up, kind of thing. Though I can also see on the flip side where having 2 things going on might be a little much to juggle. I'm not really sure. I'm not a writer. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just how I feel about things. But, I feel bad rating it so low. Because I feel bad writing anyone's debut novel low. I feel bad about it. But that's my opinion. The next is Wild Scottish Magic. This one was really cute. I really liked this one a lot. I was a little lost in the beginning because I didn't realize this one was like book like 4 or 5 or something like that. It's not even like the second book. I think it's like third. I can't remember what it is, but it's in a series, and I've not read any other books in the series. And so there's like moments here and there where either they have a character that they're talking about, and it's very clearly from the way they're talking about the character or something that this is a reoccurring character or a character from a previous book that's making a cameo back in this one or something. And then there's also like some of the world building is not explained, but that's because of they expect you to already know what's going on and how the world works, because this is book 3, 4, or 5 or something like that. And I recognize that they can't really over-explain the world in every single book, because anyone who's read the book in the series, that's going to get annoying and repetitive and stuff like that. So they can't, that's a hard tightrope to walk there. I got this as an audiobook, an ARC. I can't remember if I mentioned that already. I got this in ARC. And it was an audiobook, and I love an audiobook. It was such a really nice, delightful little read. I think I listened to this one while I was sewing something, I think. Yeah, I think I did. I think it's in one of my Sew Lit videos. And next is another Alexandra Vossi book. I really like this one a lot. It was, I'm gonna put this up here. Yeah. This was basically 2 short novellas meshed together into a book. So the first one was about one sister, and then the second book, or the rest of the book, was another sister, or her other sister, and their love stories and everything. It was set in, I want to say Regency. I think all of her historical books are set in the Regency, I think, or at least Regency adjacent. And I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I like how both of the books didn't feel rushed. They felt like a full story. Maybe a little smidge rushed there at the end, but it's a novella. I expected that. But I really liked it, really enjoyed it. I got this in an ARC, as I said. I think I said. And just another good example of Alexandra Vossi being an auto-buy author for me. And here's another book from her, which was a 5-star read. I loved it. I'm gonna put it up here. I am obsessed with this one. I really, 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 really hope this one turns into a series, because it's about this girl who's like a debutante or something, and then a scandal happens, and so she goes off with some of her friends to what they think is an abandoned castle or manor from a royal family that's not actually in residence at the time. So they go sneak off there to have a summer to themselves, away from society, because of they all semi got some drama going on. And little do they know, while they're there, a pirate? Not really a pirate. He's not a pirate, but he's not a pirate. Does that make sense? Pirate adjacent kind of guy is there posing as like the butler or the main keeper of the house or something with his motley crew. And so hilarity ensues, them trying to hide the fact that they're pirates, not pirates. And, the girls trying to hide that they're not actually supposed to be there because they're pretending to be the princesses, ladies in waiting. And it's a delight. I loved it. I cannot wait for more books, because that's got to be a series. The way they're setting up her friends and like his crew, it's definitely going to be a series, and I'm excited for it. And then last but not least is Well Met, which is a reread. This is a series about like people falling in love at this Ren Fair in a small town, and I love it. It has made me want to go to a Ren Fair so bad. There's a whole series. I think there's like 4 or 5. I think it's 5 books. And the 5th book just got announced. The cover just got revealed, and I've already been denied on NetGalley for it. I know I was sad about it, but whatever. Anyway, I'm trying to reread the entire series before the last book comes out, so I can have it all fresh in my mind and everything, because it's a small town, so all the characters are pretty connected with each other, and so I feel like I need to have it all fresh in my mind to really appreciate the last book, because I think it's going to be the last book in the series, so I really want to go out with a full hurrah. Absolutely love the series. I read this one the first time. It was like one of the first books I read when I started getting back into reading like a couple years ago, and it really helped me really just get back into reading fully, and it's just so fun. It made me want to go to Ren Fair. I love this one. There's one book in the series I was like about, but all the other books in the series I absolutely love so far, and so I'm really excited for the last book to come out. I'm really excited for it. Anyway, so that's the end of my tier list making. So this is all the books I read so far this year. I think it was 34. Yeah, 34. That was 33, but whatever. Anyway, really, I'm having a pretty good reading year so far. Like, knock on wood that continues, because so many of them are S tier and A tier and everything like that. Like, I think I have more in the S tier and A tier at the halfway point of this year than I had all of last year. So that's really good. Hopefully the rest of the year will be just as good. So it's the end of the stream. I'm going to edit this down and post this as a video that's a little shorter, more concise, without my ums and likes and such. And that's going to be out Saturday. And then after that is going to be the vlog I was talking about, where I'm having to read these library books really quickly. Where's the other one? Yeah, right here. And so be checking that out, waiting for that. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And I will see you later. Bye.